It's a good family environment. I always say that families race together, stay together, and my family is living proof that that is the truth. Racing is our common bond. We load up on Saturdays and come to Myrtle Beach Speedway, one big family, you know. So, and I don't think if we had that, we wouldn't be as tight-knit as we are. Actually, the Ninja Turtle came from a little kid was here. We were here one day practicing, and he come and he said, do you know who this is? And of course I knew that that was Raphael, who was my favorite Ninja Turtle. So he said, I want you to have this, I want you to put this in your car. So it's been in there ever since. I'd like to think that my driving style is patiently aggressive. I have never wrecked anybody, so I'm not gonna wreck them. I've been wrecked here many times. I've won the Myrtle Beach 399 a bunch of times and been wrecked on the last lap. So that's just not really my style. But I would race them hard, door to door, smoke flying, sparks flying. We always seem to do really good in the longer races when you kind of can save your tires, and I try to play a more thinking man's race, but when it's a 40-lap race, I can also get aggressive and get after it. You can't win it on the first lap, but you can lose it on the first lap. We could not race without sponsors. Sponsors are what makes that thing go around this racetrack every single lap. And I have the greatest group of sponsors that anybody could have. Mr. W.C. Bell, Miss Tammy Bell, they have been with us through thick and thin. They came on board in the middle of the recession when I thought we were going to have to quit racing because we were family funded. They stepped up and they have been with us ever since.
My dad's been involved forever. He sponsored race car drivers ever since I was a little girl, and that's always been a part of his life and the dealership.
Bell & Bell is synonymous with racing. Mr. WC has sponsored race cars for as long as I can remember, and his pictures on his wall of him sponsoring Tim Richmond, Dale Earnhardt, I mean, it's just, the list goes on, Neil Bonnet, the list goes on of drivers that he has sponsored.
So there's a lot of history there, but Justin does us proud. He's a good representative, and we're proud of him and everything he's been doing.
The Bell & Bell car is supposed to run up front, and so it's my job to make sure that happens. We picked up a new sponsor this year, Anglers Marine, and I am so proud to carry their brand also. It is just unbelievable the amount of inventory they have, from the smallest John boat to 60-foot yachts. You don't have to look at pictures, you can walk on their boats.
It's a family-owned business, and we sell a lot of family fun to people of Brunswick and Horry County and surrounding areas.
They have an unbelievable inventory, and I urge anybody, if you're looking to buy a boat or get service work, to go check them out.
It's done real well for us, and real proud of Justin and his crew and what they've done with the race that they just won, and give them a little money, get them some new baloney tires so we can go out there and win one this weekend.
I always try to put in a little bit extra on Bell & Bell night. It's a very special night for us. I just want to get their picture taken.
The car's perfect. Don't change a thing.
Hello and welcome to Myrtle Beach Speedway Live on HTC. I'm Mike Neff. We have a full slate of racing for you tonight with Chargers, mini stocks, vintage cars, and twin 40-lap features for the late models. We're going to start on a bit of a somber note today. We had a little bit of an incident last night with the Myrtle Beach Speedway racing family. Justin Milliken, Terry Evans, Adam Fulford, and his son were headed home after a day of practice here at Myrtle Beach Speedway, and they got into an accident on the highway on their way home. Terry Evans has very serious injuries and is in Grand Strand Medical Center. Justin Milliken also has injuries, although not as severe, and is also in the hospital. Adam Fulford and his son were both treated and released. Justin Milliken is a former track champion and the only driver so far this year that has beaten Lee Pulliam in a late model feature at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Terry Evans just won last week in the trucks for his 30th feature win at Myrtle Beach Speedway across all divisions. Justin and Terry are still in the hospital. As soon as we get any kind of an update, we will pass it along. For now, a few of the drivers wanted to pass along their well wishes to the guys.
I guess whenever I first started racing the mini stocks, Terry was he was my main competition. And then I moved up to the late models, and Justin was right there with me. And we've traded a lot of paint on the racetrack, and we don't see eye to eye whenever our helmets are on. But it's like we're still part of the racing family, kind of like my brother, I guess, in a way. And it cuts deep to know that, man, they were out here driving hundreds of miles an hour next to concrete walls yesterday, and then on the way home, something like this happened. It really cuts deep, I guess. You know, I hate it. Me and Justin, we don't see eye to eye on the racetrack, like I said, but he's still a member of the racing family, so it hurts.
Yeah, I just hope that both of them will have a speedy recovery and where they can get back to the racetrack quick as they can. But most of all, we're dwelling on their health right now. I hope that they can pull through without any complications, and we are definitely praying for them.
Look for God. He's going to be the one to handle what he wants to handle. You know, it's a bad thing to happen. You never want it to happen to anybody, and especially when it comes to a racing family like ours. It's emotional, you know what I mean? But I wish him the best. Justin, you got to be strong for Terry, and Terry, you know, he's a strong individual. So the main thing right now is just let God do his thing, and they'll both be all right, hopefully.
Yeah, you know, it gives me chill bumps just thinking about those guys, what they're going through, and just feel for them, my heart's for them. We're competitors on the racetrack, but off the racetrack, we're all just a big family, and just hope both of them get better. I know how it is. They got families to support, and they got families that love them, and nobody ever wants to see anything like that happen. So our hearts and condolences are with them, and we'll be praying for healing for them and their families.
I'd probably say the funnest memory I've had of Justin, I'd say him dive bombing me a little bit, but it was all in good fun, and it ended up slingshotting me to my first victory. So, you know, props to him for driving me a little aggressive, but, you know, it's guys like that make racing a whole lot more fun for guys like me.
The car accident last night is a bad situation. You know, the biggest thing, first and foremost, is, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with him, Terry, everyone involved. You know, that's the main thing. You know, we all do this here for fun. You know, it's not for a living or anything. Everybody comes out here. You know, we race hard together, but, you know, both of us enjoy doing it just as much. You know, and, you know, it's different not having them here at the racetrack. We sure miss them here today. But like I said, first and foremost, our thoughts and prayers are with them, and, you know, hope for a speedy recovery and they can get back out here.
If they was here, or even if they ain't here, you know, they'd want us to be right here doing what we're doing today. So we're going to do the best we can for them, and our thoughts and prayers are with them.
There is no doubt that racing is one of the most competitive forms of sport on the planet, and tempers can get heated in the moment. But in a moment like this is when it is all put aside and we all come together. There is no tighter group than the racing family, and we are all pulling together for Justin and for Terry. We appreciate your thoughts and prayers. Absolutely pass them along when you can, but also respect the family's privacy at this moment. For now, once we have any kind of an update, we will pass it along to you. Welcome back to Riding Shotgun. One of the true pleasures of coming to the racetrack each and every time that we race at Myrtle Beach Speedway is the guys from Raceway Ministries. They preach the good Lord's word to us both through the invocation before the race and an inspirational message that they give to us each and every week. The folks from Raceway Ministries do fantastic work both at the track and outside the track here in the Myrtle Beach Speedway area. This week we've got the pleasure of having Pastor Ron here to hopefully give us a little bit of an update on Justin and Terry's condition. How you doing today, Pastor Ron?
I'm doing good, real good. Beautiful day the Lord has given us. I just returned from the hospital visiting Justin and Terry, and I have some good news in that Justin has just met with his doctor, and it appears that with some physical training, and he'll be able to go home possibly as early as tomorrow. So he's progressing very well. With Terry, it's a different situation. He continues in a coma, and it is expected that he'll be in a coma for some time to come. But the good news is that the doctors say that all of his vital signs are just about where they should be, and that's a good thing. So we want to thank the good Lord for that. I've known both of these men. They've been an important part of the racetrack for a number of years. Justin came here as a rookie in 2003 and was awarded the Rookie of the Year recognition. He's been a good, clean racer. There have been a lot of memorable moments. He ended up being the track champion in the late model division, so he's had a real successful career here. I've learned as I've been here serving as chaplain that the racing family has close ties. You watch them on the racetrack and they're extremely competitive. But these two gentlemen that we're talking about here today are perfect gentlemen on the racetrack, and the other drivers have a lot of respect for them. One memorable occasion for me with Justin is that here just a couple of years ago, he was here with his newborn daughter and invited me over to have prayer with him at the race car with his team. And there was 4 generations of his family there during this time. That was just a very special occasion. I've watched Terry as he started here in the mini stock division. Then he moved up to the late models, and then from there he just 2 weeks ago he won the super truck race here. So they have a lot of history here at the track and are well respected. And the racing family is standing behind them and visiting yesterday and today. There's people in and out just continually showing their support for them. And we look forward to their return to the track. It just seems like something's missing when they're not here.
I know personal information can be a little bit sensitive, but what can you give us as far as what the extent of the injury is for Justin?
Well, as could be expected in a terrible accident like that, he has got a lot of scrapes and bruises. The most serious part has been injury around his spine, and the doctors this morning said that the MRI did not show any damage that would require a surgical procedure. What he will go through will be physical rehabilitation. He does have considerable pain, but that seems to be relenting some at this point in time. And so he is close to the possibility of being discharged and just dealing with physical therapy at home within the next day or so.
Well, that is fantastic news. As far as Terry goes, as you mentioned, he's a little bit more serious. Can you give us any more information about the nature of his injuries?
Well, Terry, unfortunately, was thrown from the automobile that they were riding in and has what some refer to as TBI, traumatic brain injury. He's had to have a portion of his skull removed to relieve pressure from the swelling of the brain. That seems to be under control, and the type of injury that Terry has is one that could take weeks and even months for full recovery.
From your personal opinion, what do you think would be best for people to send? Do people need food? Do they need money? Just encouragement? What do you feel is best for people that want to reach out and do something to help? Because so many people want to be helpful.
I'm sure that that's true, and in knowing both individuals and somewhat the circumstances, I think that Justin would just be thrilled if you would send him a card and let him know that you're thinking about him and that you care for him and that you're wishing him well in his recovery and his family. In Terry's situation, in a more serious injury, if some people have asked about perhaps helping him financially, I would only advise that if you do, you could contact the racetrack, and I'm sure that they'd be able to receive it. My feelings are that the drivers and all those that are involved here are going to want to participate in some support for Terry, and that information could be obtained through the track office. So I would encourage you, if you have that desire and want to help either of them financially, then if you could let the track management know that, then they could inform you of just exactly how that's going to take place.
Tonight, we pay tribute to a fallen member of our racing brotherhood. Just a week ago, Terry Evans succumbed to the injuries he sustained in a terrible auto accident. Although Terry is gone physically, his spirit will race with his brothers tonight and always. A lot has transpired since the last time we saw you on one of our broadcasts from here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Before our last race, on their way home from the track, Justin Milliken, Terry Evans, Adam Fulford, and his son Little Adam were involved in a terrible wreck. Adam and his son were treated and released that very day. Justin Milliken has a broken back but has since gone home from the hospital. Unfortunately, Terry Evans was not so lucky and ultimately succumbed to his injuries, passing away just over a week ago. Tonight is going to be a special tribute to one of the fallen members of our racing brotherhood. Terry Evans passed away this last week, and you will see many of our drivers sporting his colors and his numbers this evening. In honor of Terry, Lee has changed up the number on the old number 5 Kiker Motorsports to be number 35 this weekend. That's a really cool thing, brother.
Yeah, you know, our hearts are with his family, and we're honored to have a number on the car, and going to do everything we can to get it in victory lane and give a photo of it to his family. And you know, I think they're going to retire the number after tonight. So special day for everybody here to remember his life and legacy here at the racetrack and off the racetrack too. Just a tragedy to lose him at such a young age, and going to do everything we can to put on a good show for fans, and we know he'll be watching from above.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We mentioned at the beginning of the show that we had a very special treat for you tonight, and our very own buddy Justin Milliken. I just pried him out of physical therapy to throw him onto the phone so that y'all could hear back from him. First of all, Justin, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting better day by day. Like you said, just got out of physical therapy, and that seems to be going pretty good. We go back on September the 20th for them to take some more pictures and see how everything's going, but everything's going pretty good.
That is awesome. Now, I know I've heard you talk about this, and I don't know how realistic it is. I know you don't get the top of the line facilities like somebody like Eric Almirola has, but I know you've been talking about trying to make it back not only for the 400, but maybe even our Battleback race October 21st. In reality or realistically, do you think you can make it back in time to race the 400?
October 21st is probably not on the radar. Like I said, we go back September the 20th. I want to run the 400. I really want to run it. I'll tell you how bad we want to run it. Terry's dad, Mr. Bimbo Evans, had built a Ford for Terry, and we went and picked that motor up last week. He's told us to put it in the car if we want to run it, run the 400 with it, and I'd be honored to run Terry's dad's motor in the 400 this year. So that is our main goal, is to try to get back and run that race, have him at the racetrack with us, and that's our main goal. And hopefully we can be back by the 400. If not, we'll definitely be there for the icebreaker. Oh,
I got no doubt about that. But now, I know you weren't at the track this weekend, but I know you were following along online. What did you think of Matt Cox's effort on Saturday night here at Myrtle Beach?
Oh, I thought they did great, man. I mean, anytime that you can run with Lee, let alone outrun him, is you got to tip your cap to anybody that can do that. So I know those guys are happy. I know what it meant for our little team to outrun him. So I can only imagine how happy him and his brother are. So I tip my cap to him, and like I said, it's hard to beat him. So running with him and outrunning him, you need to enjoy that one.
Right on. Now, as you've been going through your physical therapy, I know that their focus is just on getting your body back to what your body's supposed to be. But have you had them doing anything extra to make sure you're going to be able to slide through that window and be able to drive in November?
No, like you said, they got a great physical therapist, Jonathan Bakari. He's at Liberty Home Health Care, and they actually come out here and work with me, and they've just been awesome. I mean, they've became kind of like extended family. So, but really, be honest with you, we've been trying to really just get back into living everyday life shape, not really focused on racing shape yet. But we're gonna get there.
Yet being the operative term. All right. Well, one last question for you. I know I saw you a few weeks ago, and you were at least moving around as gingerly as it might have been. Is that mobility starting to get back to you, where you're able to kind of move around a little more freely on your own?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was having to use a cane, and I've got a brace. You know, you saw it the other Saturday down there. I'm not using the cane, and I've been working several hours every day at work, which is good. You know, I enjoy being at work. So my mobility is getting there. It's just a long road back to being everything how it was. But I look forward to being back to the racetrack and racing. And like I said, I really hope that we do get back for the 400 to be able to run. But Terry Evans is Dad's motor, and just really look forward to that opportunity and representing our friend, who I still miss every day. And just still is unbelievable to be on the phone with you, even talking about it. But I look forward to being down there.
We look forward to having you, brother. One more quick question before you leave. I don't know if you heard it on Saturday or not, but the 400 is actually going to be on MAV TV. And I know Charlotte Electric is a sponsor of the track, and we do your commercials on our shows. How cool is it to know that you could have the O2 and all the rest of our buddies here at the track going to 30 million households this winter?
Wow, I didn't really realize that. That is awesome, and I commend you, Mike, and Steve, and Brian, and everybody else at Myrtle Beach for. I mean, y'all guys have really taken the racetrack to the next level. I've been coming down there longer than any of y'all, so I know the shape that it's been in, the shape that it used to be, and how it is now. And man, I cannot tell you what a awesome job you guys do. I mean, if you don't believe it, look at the car counts we're having, man. You all you guys deserve a pat on your back. And if I was your boss, I'd give you a raise.
Well, we sure appreciate you coming out and racing, because it's the shows you guys put on that end up making the fans come out and end up making the product great. So we're going to say later to Justin. For right now, we really appreciate him coming on board, and we are all very thankful he's getting better and looking forward to having him come back to the track soon.
Hey, we're happy. We're happy. He's really quick. Don't seem like he's lost anything. Just hope he's comfortable in the car. Pretty big?
That man's in.
Huh?
Might have been better if he cranked up the car.
Huh? Tell us about it.
Pretty good. Pretty good right there.
How do you feel? How do you feel?
I feel good.
The car's good, but how's the driver?
Well, the driver's adrenaline is pumping pretty good right now. So.
Yeah, you start to see the grin on your face.
Feeling pretty good right there. Zach, you had got him, hadn't you?
Yep.
You already done. I already got out.
I got him.
Performed pretty darn good. It was very sweet. For being out for 3 months, car rolled middle good. It's good.
And I see him screaming at the guys here, you know, joking around and stuff, but man, it's good to hear that, huh?
Yes, it is. It feels very good to have it. It's a little bit sad too. I mean, we miss our boy, but it is what it is.
Brother?
I think we did pretty good for coming out of the gate, you know, off an injury list and all that's gone down. I believe it's been a pretty good day, you know, set up. We didn't have to change anything. We're happy with where we're at right now, so I think we're going to be all right.
And on a lighter side, is it good to hear Justin crack the jokes and everything?
Oh, yeah. Keeping high spirits out here is a big deal. You know, if not, we'd probably tear each other's heads off. At the end of the day, as much brain thinking and stress as we go through out here on the track, it's crazy to think about what actually goes on in the infield when you're working on cars.
And what's his limitations now with his back, you think? You know, obviously he'll probably be a little sore tomorrow, but...
Yeah, I think anybody would be sore after a break like that, but his doctor says he's all good to go. He can't hurt it more than if he was healthy from before, so I think we got a bright future ahead, and we just got to move on and make the best of what we got.
And the 400 looms, I mean, that's what you guys got your eyes on, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, absolutely. We're trying to make it for these big races and get her tuned up and get them right.
Really happy with the progress we've made. The car kind of is right where Terry and I had left it, and it was really good today. I felt like there's a lot of rust on the driver, a whole lot more rust on the driver than there is on the car. But we were able to come down here and make some laps and kind of see where we were, and look forward to coming back and trying to run and win the Myrtle Beach 400.
And your father, he was the most excited one here. We're back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've been blessed to come back. You know, I love this place. I love what Myrtle Beach Speedway and racing means to me and my family. You see, I'm down here with my dad and my father-in-law. So, you know, it's a family deal. It's probably made us even a tighter family. I just thank the Lord and for being able to be here, and for just it's kind of melancholy and bittersweet to be here. And I miss Terry so much, but on the way down here, and I've been thinking this whole time that this is what Terry would want us to be doing. He's probably been screaming at me that we hadn't come down here before, but I finally felt like I was healthy enough to come and do the car justice of all the hard work that he had done to get it ready to race. So I look forward to coming back and trying to get that 02 in the Myrtle Beach 400 victory lane.
Yes, sir.
Is that what?
I should have said that. Things were looking right.
Oh, you got the bar hooked back up. That's hilarious.
Just like to thank my driver Cole for putting his trust in me, you know. Harry Gant.
Well, you got the crew on edge again with a little bit of the humor and stuff. That's nice.
It is. I love these guys. These guys are, you know, this is our family. You know, like I said before, we're tighter than we've ever been. Just look forward to coming back and lining them up and being able to race with these guys. You know, you don't realize how much a part of this place is a part of our life until you don't come for a few months and you kind of sidelined and don't know if you'll come back. And very thankful to be here and thankful for all that y'all do and all that y'all have done to show how much that Terry means to this racetrack. It's when I came that Memorial night, it was probably the most humbled I have ever been in my entire life. It was really special what y'all have done, and to see that cross over there, it breaks my heart. And I miss him like hell, but we're gonna make him proud, and I know that's what he would want.